King Charles' Masterstroke bestows the highest distinction to Edward Young. One of Sussex's leading haters has received a rare distinction from King Charles. The King has become one of Harry and Meghan Markle's most despised people, so his most recent choice is certain to anger them. Lord-in-Waiting Permanent Sir Edward Young has been given the distinction of representing the monarch at royal engagements when he is unable to attend in person. Sir Edward Young is thought to be the person referred to as the bee in Harry's book. According to a source, His Majesty really respects Lord Young and is appreciative of all the effort he performed for his mother despite being under a lot of strain. Many have speculated that Harry and Meghan blamed him for not accommodating them appropriately when they were still working members of the royal family because Sir Edward was one of the late Queen's most trusted aides and was made a lord after he retired from the royal service after a 19-year career. When the Duke's memoirs Spa were published earlier this year, these rumours were confirmed. In the book, Harry accused Sir Edward of preventing him from visiting his grandmother to lobby her about the Brexit. The Duke also accused Sir Edward of ensuring that he lost his Scotland Yard security contract after leaving his royal duties. Due to his oval-faced, fuzzy look and propensity to glide around with tremendous composure and grace, Harry gave him the moniker, the Bee. The Bee, the Fly, and the Wasp were the three top palace advisors dubbed in the book as having assisted in the negotiations of the Mexican agreement. The three were reportedly serving as the senior royals' personal secretaries at the time. "I'd spend my life dealing with courtiers, scores of them, but not adults, primarily with just three all-white middle-aged men who had managed to consolidate power through a series of audacious Machiavellian maneuvers," wrote Edward Young, who represented the Queen, Simon Case, who worked for Prince William, and Clive Alderton, who represented the then Prince Charles. They had common names, but they looked for things more readily in logical groups. The Fly, the Wasp, and the Bee. The fuzzy, oval-faced bee had a tendency to glide through life with tremendous calmness and poise, as if he were a blessing to all creatures. The Flyer had spent a large portion of his career near and even drawn to the worst aspects of government, media, and wormy entrails. He devoured it with glee, became fat on it, and rubbed his hands over it. The Wasp appeared so weedy and self-effacing, Harry added, that you would be inclined to push back and insist on your point. At that moment, Harry would add you to his list. Shortly after, without warning, he would pierce you so hard with his enormous stinger that you would sob in shock. From where did that come? However, Lord Young was regarded by the palace as a superb public servant. According to a spokeswoman for Buckingham Palace, the King was pleased to designate the Lord Young of Old Windsor as His Majesty's regular permanent lord-in-waiting. War enthusiasts have been yelling in their man caves, "Well played, King Charles III," after Harry's humiliation. Characteristics akin to the royal family shades excellent, one admirer remarked, "This just proves how senseless it is when people try and say King Charles III is a sucker who'd bring Todger back to the royal family, never gonna happen, and he's making that very clear with every decision he makes," while another added, "and he's making it very clear with every decision he makes." The only way they wish to contact Meghan and the best way to get her attention through the media, I think they cast a little bit of shade. Others have pointed out that Harry is a middle-aged white man who is now married to a middle-aged mostly white barely woman. While I agree that the royal family tends to grey rock these two grifters.